Hello and welcome in our YouTube channel Metallurgical Facts. So this video series is basically for metallurgical engineering question practice for HAL management training exam, and this is part 4th of this video series. So before this in three of the parts of this video series we discussed about the metallurgical engineering questions which is important for HAL management training exam. Okay, so for practicing more and more questions you may also go through the GATE metallurgy practice series, and you may also go through the RINL 2020 practice series, so that you can have idea about the questions more and more, and you can learn the concepts through these questions. Okay, so now we will do the questions in this part. So the first question is, internal defects in components cannot be detected by. So these are some NDT technique methods. So I have discussed these type of questions in GATE metallurgy practice series mostly. Okay, so these type of questions are very important for HL management training exam also. Okay, so NDT techniques is important. So internal defects in component cannot be determined by. So first option is magnetic particle inspection, radiography test, acoustic emission test, and ultrasonic test. Okay, so for determining the surface crack or surface defects, okay, so we can utilize two processes, that is penetrant test, that is most probably known as a liquid penetrant test, and the other one is MPI, that is magnetic particle inspection. Okay, and other one is visual inspection also. So by visual inspection we can also inspect the surface defects. Okay, so visual inspection, penetrant test, and MPI, that is magnetic particle inspection, these three are utilized for surface defects. And for subsurface and the deep lying defects, that is deep defect or uh, internal defects, for internal defects we can utilize all other NDT techniques like radiography. Okay, so radiography we can utilize for this internal defects. Okay, so the next is acoustic emission test. Acoustic emission test, this is also known as uh, AET. Okay, so in short they may also ask. Okay, so please try to remember these all, because these are standard way of writing these NDT techniques. Okay, so the next one is ultrasonic test. Okay, so what are the other methods which you can utilize for doing this in NDT doing this internal defects, for finding the internal defects? Left one is that eddy current test. Okay, so here I will try to mention these eddy current also. Eddy current may be utilized for this internal defects. Okay, so these all are the test, these all are the NDT techniques which is utilized for deep lying or internal defects, and these three are utilized for surface defects. So here in this option they have written magnetic particle inspection. Okay, so they are asking for internal defects is in components cannot be determined by. So this A, that is MPI, may not be used for internal defects. Okay, so we can use radiography. Yes, this is correct, this is also correct, this is also correct. So eventually this they are asking for incorrect options, so we can say that magnetic particle inspection is correct answer for this question, because this magnetic particle inspection cannot be determined for cannot detect the internal defects in components. Okay, so here A option is correct answer. Okay, so the next question is, the toughness of a metal is determined by. So they are asking about this toughness of the metal. Okay, so we have option Knoop test, Satter index test, impact test, and Brinell test. So you all know this Knoop test and Brinell test is basically used for hardness measurement. So these are the type of test which is utilized for hardness measurement. Okay, so Knoop test is basically used for thin film or thin layer. So mostly in case of corroded layer we use Knoop test. Okay, so the next option is Satter index test. So this Satter index test is basically related to the coke, or you can also use for sand. So in case of sand we can measure the toughness of the sand by using this Satter index test, and in case of coke we try to measure the resistance of the coke to the breakage. Okay, so we try to find that resistance to the breakage. So this B option is also not correct, A option is also incorrect, and D option is incorrect. So option is C option. So impact test is basically used for the determination of toughness of the metal. Okay, so sometimes you, if you don't know the options, if you don't know the correct answers, so you can eliminate the options. By eliminating those options you may reach up to the correct answers. Okay, so this, for this question C part is correct. The next question is, which one of the following is not the irregularities of the blast furnace? So they are asking about irregularities. These irregularities means the problems created during or before and after the process of the blast furnace. Okay, so these are the four options, that is hanging, slip, tapping, and the last one is breakout. Okay, so we will try to understand about these four, what these are, these four are. Okay, so the hanging, the first one is hanging. Hanging generally means when the uniformity of charge burden, in the furnace is interrupted by any means, the situation is known as hanging situation. Okay, so this is basically the irregularity of blast furnace. So this is wrong option. And the next one is slip. Okay, the slip is the situation when we lost the control on the falling of charged material or burden material during the furnace operation. So this situation is known as slip. The third option is tapping. Tapping is basically the furnace operation. This is the furnace operation. This is not blast furnace irregularities. So in tapping, blast furnace operation, which is used for removing the slag or molten metal from the furnace. Okay, so this is the blast furnace operation, not irregularity. So the correct option of this question is tapping. So the last option of this question is breakout. Breakout means this is the term used to denote the conditions and the results of the escape of gases and coke or slag or iron from the base of the furnace or towards breast and the hearth of the blast furnace. Okay, so this is also a irregularity of the blast furnace. So the correct option for this question is C option. Tapping is the correct option because this is the blast furnace operation, not irregularity. So the next question is, pitting resistance of austenitic stainless steel cannot be improved by addition of. Okay, so just we have, suppose we have stainless steel and we want to avoid the pitting resistance. So the first element we add in stainless steel, that is MO, for avoiding pitting corrosion. Okay, so this is used for pitting resistance. The second element we use 2% silicon we can use for making type 316 stainless steel. Okay, and for third element is 0.2% nitrogen, and the rest, the chromium is already in that stainless steel. Okay, so molybdenum, silicon, and nitrogen and chromium. Okay, so from here we can eliminate that option. Nitrogen is in our list, molybdenum is in our list, and chromium is in our list. So carbon uh, cannot be added to avoid the pitting resistance of austenitic stainless steel. So these are the elements we use for avoiding the pitting corrosion. Okay. The next question is, which one of the following alloy system exhibits complete solid solubility? Okay, so from options we can see that the Cu, that is copper nickel, is most commonly used alloy that exhibits the complete solid solubility because it follows the Hume-Rodri rules. Okay, this is one of the condition which must be followed for exhibiting solid solubility. Rest of the options are wrong. These options does not follow the Hume-Rodri rules, and this doesn't show the complete solid solubility. Okay. Other than copper and nickel, a few alloy systems I am writing here which exhibit the complete solid solubility are AgAu. AgAu is one. The next one is germanium silicon, that is GSI system. The GSI alloy system also exhibit the complete solid solubility, and the other one is cadmium and magnesium alloy system. This also exhibits the complete solid solubility. So for Hume-Rodri rule, I have created one video, that is chemical and metallurgical terminology part 2. You can check the Hume-Rodri rule there, and you can have a better idea by that video what is the solid solution and what is solid solubility. So please go through that video and brush up your knowledge regarding the Hume-Rodri rules and solid solubility. So the correct option for this question is A part, that is CuNi, which exhibits complete solubility. Thank you guys for your attention. Hope you have understood something new in this video, and you have understood the concepts I told you in this video. We will come with some more videos in this video series. Try to do the practice of metallurgical questions with this practice series, and try to share these videos with your friends so that they may also practice the questions for the HAL management training exam. Thank you.